Hello guys, and welcome to my channel, Jeff's Opinion Post. I was just sitting here reading some articles. This is from January, but as all these riots are taking place, and you know, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, all these violent riots, and the peaceful protesters are trying to protest, but they can't get in there because of the riots and stuff. And all the attention on this, we're forgetting about a few things. You know, there's more problems. There's worse problems in America. You know, we got child trafficking. And this post I'm going to show you from January, it's serious stuff, man. You know, you got kids being trafficked in the United States. You know, the United States is one of the biggest hubs for that. I didn't know that till today, but I mean, I knew there was child trafficking because they got that everywhere, but the United States is a hub for it. They bring kids in from out of state or out of country and bring them here to traffic them, and sex and drugs and everything. You know, it's ridiculous. It's a shame that we're fighting over something stupid when this is out there. I'm not saying your cause is stupid, Black Lives Matter. I'm just saying that there's worse problems. You know, there's worse problems out there. Some of these kids are being killed. You know, it's awful to see, but I'm gonna let you take a look at it. And I don't care what you say. I think this is a more serious problem we have on our hands.
Hey, welcome back. It is 7:54. The Texas Attorney General's office is calling on all Texans to fight human trafficking or sex slavery.
Fox 4's Dan Godwin has details on a new video that's going to help people recognize this horrific crime.
It's an ad taken off the back page. It says 19, but her age is what? 15.
Gangs who used to primarily traffic guns and drugs are now turning to trafficking children.
The Texas Attorney General's office is trying to bring attention to a problem that is all too real in the state of Texas and across the United States: human trafficking. I want to say hello to Melissa Holman, an Assistant Attorney General based in Austin. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
We use the term human trafficking. It really amounts to modern day slavery. We are talking possibly forced prostitution or forced labor. What is the basic message that the AG's office is trying to get out?
The AG's office wants people in Texas to understand that human trafficking is a crime that is occurring here. And there's a public conception that it's only a problem in our big cities like Houston and Dallas. But our message is that it can happen anywhere, because ultimately where you have buyers, you have sellers. And we want the average Texan to feel empowered to understand what is human trafficking and how to spot it if they happen to run into a victim of this crime.
And there is this video now available for the general public, produced by your office. And the video includes a woman who now lives just south of Dallas, who tells just a horrific story of her own experience with human trafficking.
And she asked me, was I okay? I told her, you know, I looked around, make sure he wasn't there, and then I told her I needed help. I needed help. Girls like me are kept. It's happening in your backyard and right next door to you.
We were extremely honored to have a couple of survivors share their story with the film, and I think that makes it very powerful for the viewer. Tanya Stafford was just a young girl in the Dallas area whose mother actually sold her to her trafficker, who kept her captive for a number of years. She was ultimately rescued essentially through the kindness and intervention of a neighbor, and Tanya shared her story with the film.
And human trafficking can sometimes begin with an abduction. But that's not usually how it starts, right?
Sure. I think there's a public conception sometimes that it's always a crime of violence, or it's stranger danger sort of situation where you're getting abducted. What is truthfully more common for us, especially in the case of minor sex trafficking, is for the child to possibly be a runaway or to even believe that they're in a romantic relationship with the trafficker. In the case of minor sex trafficking, the law does not require that force, fraud, or coercion was used.
And in terms of statistics, almost 79,000 minors and young people are victims of sex trafficking in Texas, according to a study published by UT Austin last year. Another 234,000 workers are victims of labor trafficking. And again, this is a crime that knows no boundaries when it comes to race, ethnicity, gender, kids and adults.
Yes, the crime, both sex and labor trafficking, can occur across the income spectrum. It can occur from children up through adults, any race, socioeconomic status. It's really a crime that knows no bounds.
All right, Melissa Holman, Assistant Attorney General, thank you so much for the chat. If you're interested in seeing this very important video that we've been talking about, we've got a link at our website. Just go to fox4news.com.
Human trafficking is one of the forms of trauma that when you really understand what people are going through and what is being done to them, if you believe in any kind of existential philosophy, I think it is as close to true evil as I have ever seen in my work with people who have been harmed by other people. And I do a lot of work in interpersonal violence.
Every girl is at risk simply because they are a girl. We want all girls educated in the risks about relationships, just like we believe all girls should be educated and have knowledge about human trafficking, so they know what to do. So it's important to have that conversation with girls, not just sweep it under the carpet, never my girl, never her.
There's something unique about the violation of the body. And when I teach about human trafficking, one of the things I talk about is how the body is actually the scene of the crime. So because it is a violation of one's physical person through sexual behavior, there's actually no way to escape it. You can't get away, you can't wash it off, you cannot forget, you cannot get out. You actually take the violated body with you into your new life if you are ever lucky enough to escape human trafficking.
So there's various ways that a girl can be recruited. A lot of ways that we see is what we call boyfriending. So the young girl meets a guy who, you know, she describes as her boyfriend. Guy can build trust, and then he can start to demand things of her. If you loved me, you would do this. And she will 100% believe and describe him as her boyfriend, but in reality, he is pimping her out, and that's probably one of the major ways. And you know, sometimes they're too afraid to say anything because of judgment from parents and people that are close to them. What would they say?
And so for me, it's such a painful but passionate piece of work. I'm always shocked when I realize how few members of the community actually know that human trafficking is happening underneath their very noses.
So through our strategy, we're looking at prevention through education. So partnerships with the school boards are really important. Letting parents know, letting kids know, teachers, educators, that's huge, starting at the base level. And then intervention through our support network. So support services that are working with more vulnerable youth.
Because for every survivor that we work with, every survivor that we rescue, they will tell us about multiple other survivors that nobody has found, that nobody has saved, that has never been able to reach out for help, and may literally never escape the darkness.
But anyway, guys, there it is. And it's a shame, a major shame, that that's going on in America. But yet, the Americans would rather go out and protest, start riots, and over something that's could easily be a fix to. You know, the riots are stemming around the cops, but everybody quit talking about child trafficking in the United States. Them riots took over everything. That's all the news talks about. If the news would talk about the real problems in America, and we might get something done around here. But that child trafficking is a serious business. And if you think it ain't, there's something wrong with you. And if you're involved in something like that, then I hope they find you and I hope they put you down. 'Cause that's what you need. I ain't never in my life thought that they would be that bad in America. You know, I knew it was in these other countries. I knew it was, you know, these other third world countries had it. I didn't know that America was involved in that kind of stuff. Human trafficking, child trafficking. You know there's prostitution everywhere, but you just never know how old they are. Some of these guys are kids. They're kids, for crying out loud. What if that was your kid? I'm talking to you riders out there and you Black Lives members. What if that was your kid? Are you still going to sit there and argue about cops, or are you going to go out and stop the child endangerment, child trafficking, neglect, and all that? Something needs to be done with this welfare in this country. You know, people are having babies and selling them. It's crazy. And my opinion is it needs to stop. And if it don't stop, well then, it's got to stop. All of it does. The riots, the child trafficking, all this. You got to focus on these kids for a while. You know, and you Black Lives Matter, I ain't trying to take nothing from you. No, that's your protest, but it's not a protest anymore. Not since Antifa and the rioters come in. It's all just a riot. So instead of focusing on this, folks, let's turn your attention to help stop this crime. Help stop this child trafficking. It's disgusting. It's immoral. It's god awful. I don't know, guys. God bless you. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I just thought I'd drop in here and share something with you. Try to get off that riot stuff. Maybe get our attention back on something that's important. Not that it ain't important for the Black Lives Matter, but it's not for the rioters. All right, guys. We'll catch you on a little bit later. All right, for now, we're gone.